Hi, I'm Andrea Anthony, and you're watching Eat, Drink, and Bake with Andrea. Meatballs. And what's special about these meatballs, actually two things. One, I use a mixture of meat. I start with sirloin, but also ground veal and ground pork. That adds a really, really nice level of flavor to this recipe. And it's all about flavor. And the next things I use over here, garlic. I add fresh garlic to the meatballs. Of course, parsley, oregano, but I have two special flavoring components to the recipe. One is my featured sauce, Delamore marinara sauces. Now today I'm using some of the original sauce as a flavoring component. Now many meatball recipes call for the addition of liquid. I've seen milk, I've seen water added. Instead of that, I'm adding the sauce to add a little bit of moisture to it and at the same time adding a different level of flavor. I also use a store-bought, really high-quality pesto. The pesto adds, once again, another level of flavor. So those are the two special parts about this recipe in the addition to mixing up our meat. It adds really nice flavor to the meatballs. You're gonna love this recipe. I'm using mezza rigatoni, okay? And we're gonna simmer those meatballs in our marinara sauce by Delamore. And today I'm using the original, but you could use the sweet basil and garlic or even the spicy. Their sauces are interchangeable. I've used them all in recipes and they're great in recipes and as a finishing sauce. So let's get this recipe started. Okay, so we've added our salt. We're using about 6 quarts of water at a rapid boil. We added the pasta, and we're gonna let that cook al dente. That's the way I like it. And that's about 8 to 10 minutes. You have to check it out. Give it a taste after that point. If you like it a little bit more cooked, leave it in longer, and then we're ready to go. So while that's cooking, we're gonna go over to the island and start the meatballs. So let's start our ingredients. Now in the bowl, I have my meat. Remember, we have our sirloin, veal, and pork. I'm just gonna give those a little bit of a mix just to combine them a bit. And again, just that combination adds such a nice flavor to the meatballs. Makes a big difference in the recipe. Okay, so, and it's about 2 pounds. So, you know, you go to the butcher or your grocery store, you can sort of approximate and have it weighed out for you. So we're pretty well mixed here. Now let's add our fresh garlic. Mix that in a little bit. And our fresh parsley. Notice I'm adding my dry ingredients first. Oregano. And I can add the salt and pepper now. Okay, you can see how nicely that's mixing in. Now, let's add our egg. And you want to get that egg mixed in nicely, evenly distributed throughout the meat. It's going to add a nice fluffy texture to our meatballs and hold them together. So important to get that mixed well. And we're looking good. Now our flavor components. There is our pesto sauce. Adds just a lovely flavor to these meatballs. And our Delamore. Added that marinara sauce. Now you can see how our meat is nice and moist. Okay, with the addition of the pesto and the Delamore marinara sauce. So we're mixing that up. And at this point, we're going to add our Italian breadcrumbs and our grated cheese. And incidentally, this is a Romano, but you could use Parmesan, whatever you prefer. Both add really a nice flavor to the meatballs. Okay, so let me finish getting this really well combined. Then I'm gonna clean up a little bit and we're gonna roll them into meatballs. Let's get these meatballs rolled up. I like to wear gloves for the task. Okay, now And a scooper actually helps. As you see, I'm using a sheet pan. We're gonna bake these meatballs. And what I like to do is just spray that with some olive oil spray. Okay, and now we're just gonna roll. You can see how nicely they stay together. They're just the perfect consistency. You wanna try to keep them around the same size so they cook evenly. I mean, you can even smell the herbs, the garlic, the spice. Really wonderful. No muss, no fuss. No grease, you don't have to drain them, and they cook really, really nicely. And I'll show you a trick at the end. Once we have all the meatballs made, I spray the top with a little bit of olive oil spray. Okay, so I'm gonna finish rolling these. We're gonna spray them with some olive oil spray, and then we're gonna pop them in the oven at 375 degrees, about 20 minutes. Okay, let's check these meatballs. Okay, they feel nice and firm. They're looking good. I think we're good to go. But what I would like to do is drain them a little bit before we put them in our sauce. So we'll walk these over to the island. We have a nice clean kitchen cloth, and we're just going to place them right on top just to get some of the excess drippings off. And you can see they didn't stick. You know, the parchment is nice because they don't stick at all, but they do tend to collect a little bit of the oils, so we want to drain those out a little bit so we don't water down the sauce. All right, we're looking good. Now our sauce has been heated. We're just going to put them right in. We're going to let the meatballs simmer in the sauce for a little bit, just so that the flavors combine and the sauce picks up the wonderful flavors of the meat. We'll give that a big stir over there. Okay, and you can see it's nice and hot. We're gonna put that back on the stove. We're gonna let all those flavors combine, and then they'll be ready to pair them with our rigatoni, and we're gonna have a wonderful meal. So our pasta's been cooked, it's been drained, and it's cool a little bit. So what we're going to do next, we're going to saute it a little bit in the pan to heat it up with our delamore sauce. So let's get our burner going. We're just going to take some sauce from the top and mix it right in. Sauce is nice and hot. And we're just going to heat that up a bit. And our pasta's been cooked nice and al dente. We're just going to give that a couple of minutes, not very long, just to heat it up a little bit, and then we'll put everything together. Okay, we are looking good here. So we're going to get our meatballs right in the dish here. Oh my God, just the smell is unbelievable. The garlic, the spices, the meat. House smells great. I wish you could smell it. This is a real Sunday meal. Okay, so we have our meatballs. And one more in there. Now we have our extra sauce, so let's just put some more on top of our rigatoni. Now you notice I also have some extra on the side for those people that enjoy extra. And we're going to grate some Parmesan cheese right on top of that. And there you go. Meatballs, rigatoni, delamore sauce makes for a perfect meal. Thanks for watching Eat, Drink, and Bake with Andrea. Be sure to follow me on social media at Eat, Drink, and Bake, and you can visit my website for more recipes, eatdrinkandbake.com. And remember, it's all about great ingredients, step-by-step recipes, and enjoying time with friends and families. No competitions here.